Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Debs at Doodle Dash. Today's video is about making some bunting for a vintage suitcase. Ours is actually for our daughter's wedding. You can make it with whatever words you want on it, however long you want it, but the process of actually doing that you'll find here on this video. All the products are available on our website, which is doodledash.co.uk, or in our store in Banbury, Oxfordshire. The actual bunting itself, I must admit, I bought from Amazon. The link I'll put below for that if you want to buy it from there. Really straightforward to do. Give it a go. If you've got any questions, I will get back to you. Just pop them below in the comments. And anyway, I hope you enjoy. Give it a try. Happy creating.
So this is what the finished project looks like. As you see, my bunting says cards. What you'll need is your bunting. I'm using the Roycyled Treasures Decoupage Paper Ephemeral Collage, and whatever you use to apply your decoupage paper. So I'm using French ink finishing coat, which is basically a water-based varnish, as my decoupage medium. I'm just choosing whichever areas of the paper that I want to use. I just want quite a simple background, not too fussy. So don't want to waste any. So just choosing the areas carefully and just having a little bit of excess around each of the bunting flags. You can see they're already painted white, and I do recommend having a white background to make any details on your rice paper really pop. You can see I'm using the French ink finishing coat, and I'm applying that with just the sponge applicator. You can use a brush, a sponge, whatever you've got to hand really. And I'm just pressing the paper down and using cling film or cling wrap, I think you call it in America, just to smooth it out and make sure there's no wrinkles. You really want to make sure that your coverage of whatever medium you're using is complete, because that will prevent any bubbles forming. Roycycle papers are great. They really do even out brilliantly. That's it. So just making sure each one's done, and I'm using the French ink finishing coat to apply the paper, and then I will also seal the paper with that too, to make sure that it's ready for the next part of the process. And once it's all dry, I just sand it off and make sure the edges are completely tidy. Best way to do that is to do a 90-degree downward motion away from the paper, so that when you're using sanding sponge or a sanding block, you're not working up against the paper and going to lift the edges. So you just see down and away, and it just leaves a really nice tidy edge. And there we are, that's each of the flags done for my bunting. Now what I'm going to do is ensure that the holes are all open so that I can string it for hanging. You can use whatever you like. I'm going to be using twine because that goes with the theme of our rustic wedding that we're having. You can use ribbon, whatever you've got to hand. And here I'm using the Iron Orchid Designs retro stamp, which is one of their typography stamps. And as I said before, you can make these as long as you like with whatever words that you like, so it's really versatile. Just stamping with the ink. You could use paint if you wanted, but yeah, I'm using the Iron Orchid Designs permanent ink. And as you'll see in a second, when you very first use these stamps, you do need to condition them by just giving them a light sand. So I just went over that just to show you what to do. And then that's it. First time is the only time you need to do that. And then they're ready to receive the ink. Make sure you hold it down with one hand and then press firmly with the other so that it doesn't shift, and because you don't want it to smear. I actually decided to paint these in using the colour theme for the wedding, and then they were ready for stringing. light distress with the sandpaper just to make it a little bit more rustic. And then I think I decided that I wanted to just bling them up a little bit. On the outside of the suitcase that they're going on, a vintage suitcase, there's a little bit of gold as well. So I decided just to really, with my finger, just to give it a nice sort of rustic finish. I didn't want it to be too pristine. I've just used the French Chic Golden Oldie French Shimmer just to rub that around the edge and give it a little bit of more detailing. And there you go. So you could use any decoupage paper, any stamp, any words. The choice is yours, and it really is a very versatile project. Give it a go. Happy creating.